I did not have a good sleep last night, so that was how most of my day went.
Oh,
Okay, I have just hopefully freezing and glitching constantly for me. Did you hear me the 6 times I said I'm having a lot of problems with this map?
no.
No.
I break and tried changing some settings. It seems to be screaming less, but it's still screaming, so I'm guessing the update today did something to OBS, and I will have to figure that out later. Anyways, I'm going to go take that break that you were talking about.
All right. Okay, now that I actually looked at the stuff you were talking about when I was sleeping. Why are there so many constant gifts?
So many things happen while you're busy DMing.
Yep.
I'm imagining that one of the things we're going to want to pick up is some tents.
Yeah. I'll say the way I kind of plan my DMing is that I always kind of assume that the players don't really might not have the knowledge of what they need, so I tend to plant NPCs everywhere to share this type of information, or give existing NPCs the information to give you all.
Whispers or whistles, knowing exactly what we need for this part.
Yeah, I do.
have
I
a
know that.
quiet.
What my paladin wants is mithril chainmail.
Oh right, because of the stealth, the stealth part.
Doesn't count as being heavy anymore.
Mhm. Is it also lighter than regular chainmail, or is it the same weight?
I think it's lighter also.
Wife
Probably
grew
by a
up.
couple of pounds.
Wife grew up, so I can use normal speaking voice now.
Yay!
Yay, normal grew.
Hello, I'm back.
Hello, back. I'm Gru.
And now you have back pain.
Yeah, so mithril chainmail is 20 pounds lighter.
Well, that's quite a lot.
Yeah.
I want to do that. I want to do like a cleric of a cleric. What's the term? A cleric domain is aging, and the daily powers that you can just give someone back pain.
That's just necromantic touch, isn't
So
it?
you're evil, right?
Sorry.
That's just death cleric.
Oh, I mean like the other daily powers are like give people anxiety about that the things that they thought were very recently are actually 20 years in the past, and random bruises that you have no idea where you got them.
I
So
mean, I just have ADHD. I get those.
I mean, I get bruises and I have no clue where they came from. So
At
I
level
had
Go ahead.
okay, I had an idea for a character who's like that, but it's not a cleric, it's a bard.
At level
Specifically from the eloquence school. Kind of the idea is that I get to impose some sort of disadvantage just by talking. It's like, hey, how's your anxiety be treating you? Minus G4.
Oh no.
And
Oh
just be
no.
yeah. It was kind of a kind of a backup character in case anything happens to Tilden. Because I
Mm,
figured that this is the type of person who will be in the academy.
mm.
So the remarks could go from talking about somebody's anxiety issues down to the entire, hey, I think your shoelaces are untied, and then punches the guy in the face because I just lowered their AC.
I actually like that. That's fun.
Yeah.
Just be like, you are now aware of your tongue.
Yeah. You
Thanks,
can feel your teeth, can't you? that type of bard. Yeah. I think it's like I get to deduct a bardic die from their ability checks or something.
You are now breathing manually.
Let's see. College of Eloquence. Oh, I basically lowered the saving throws by a bardic die.
So are we ready to do our shopping?
I think David isn't back yet. He was
Oh.
trying to fix something on OBS, so he took his break slightly late.
Ew.
I was saying that aging cleric at level 6, you get the ability of foretell bad weather due to pain in the knee.
Oh yeah. You also get to give people disadvantage by being like, hey, remember like this thing from your past, and then it just distracts them. It's like, hey, remember Pogs?
Thanks, I hate it.
It'll be like the worst thing to the worst thing to do to a D&D group where everyone is like 30 something.
It appears that David's cat used his bonus action to activate the tabaxi racial trait.
Well, I'm not sure if it's the tabaxi racial trait or just they use the rogue ability to use a bonus action to use hide. And made a
One of
very good
those.
stealth check.
Mm-hmm. So I guess if you were to make use of this aging cleric that we are talking about, how high of a stealth check does one need anyway to get past a bunch of 30-year-olds?
Depends on,
Not very.
Considering-
Cats do it with their
Pan.
passive.
yeah, it depends on how much they dumped perception when they were younger.
I have an 11 at best.
Yeah, not very high.
Button has gotten out of the house like 3 times. We now find, before we have to go in and out, we find Button and somebody gets the job of holding him.
Button.
See,
Murray.
BB's come and gone very little, but there has been one time she disappeared like 2 years ago, year ago, and one time like a week and a half ago, and the roommate caught her on the other side of the fence like a week ago.
And has BB been located yet?
No, he was just talking to neighbor to see if the cat that the neighbor had seen was BB or not. I decided to come back because it was rude to not communicate.
Oh, so you heard us talk about the cleric of the god of aging.
Very, very, very end of that conversation.
Mm.
Anyways, yeah, ever since we moved to this map, my Roll20, Discord, and the Bard were taking turns freezing. I turned down some of the video settings on
For what?
OBS to hopefully fix that. We'll see, I guess.
All right then. So shall we continue? Yeah, David,
I
your
think,
Discord
yeah.
just
Up
No.
out.
Oop.
You
pooped
need
on
to.
us.
I think you need to restart if you hear us.
Okay, one
Mm.
second.
Discord has shat the bed.
Discord.exe has encountered an error with David.
Discord.exe is an error and needs to shut down.
Discord.exe is how I stay in touch with most of my friends.
Mm.
Never say anything?
Oh, no, I said that.
And how I share things with people who play Genshin so they can give me free
I'm
Prima gems.
right now of the mind to
Mhm.
leave the gate doors open and
I gotta.
make it easy for her to come back because she's obviously out of the yard now.
Oh, yes, 100%.
So, make it easier for her to come back into the yard and hopefully she'll show back up.
Yeah.
Because it's too dark and there's way too many fucking things for her to
Want to play board games with face to face.
Well,
Alrighty,
I
let's see if
enjoy
this is any
being
better.
around people. Is that
Oh
such
god, you monster.
Wait,
is that so wrong?
Like,
are you the kind of person who actually talks to other people at parties?
I would never be a part of this D&D group if we had to meet in person.
How do I put this? When I go to parties, no. But if it's like someone I know, I'm gregarious, but I'm introverted but extremely gregarious.
The list of people who I want to interact with in the physical meet space is like in the single digits, and most of them are cats.
But yes, I have gone to parties and spoken to people before the Panera.
I just talk to the dog.
Hmm.
I am very sociable.
Same.
Depends
So-
on whether I care about the person or not.
That's true.
I have 2 gears, 1st and 7th.
I was with my cousin. We were supposed to be in a trip to somewhere with some friends of her, and I only knew my cousin, no one else. And at the last moment, she needed to bail. Like, I'm not gonna be able to go. I was like, oh, that's my vacations. So I went with a bunch of people I didn't know.
That sounds awful.
Okay, so let's
Yeah.
continue, shall we?
Yeah, I
Yes.
think we got away from it.
Oh, no, I was
Shopping.
gonna, I was gonna,
So-
I was gonna ask everyone to go around the group and tell us something about yourself.
Please no.
Not now because game.
Like our character, or
Sure.
As Verdal guides you out of Otamu's mansion, she kind of turns towards the group and just questions. So, business or pleasure first?
Business.
Porque los dos?
We'll see what we can do about that. Is there any place particular you like to, or person you like to find first?
Hmm.
I raised my hand.
Yes.
Can we find a blacksmith?
We can probably get one at the Red Bazaar.
If I wanted to sell some extra armor that no one is using, where would I go?
The Red Bazaar.
To the Red Bazaar.
Is there a
It's
blue?
the
Is there a blue bazaar?
no. It's the place is at the market wall. We just call it the Red Bazaar. No idea why it's called that, to be honest.
Bazaar.
Yeah, it's pretty bizarre.
So the bazaar is bizarre.
Yes. There are some, I don't know, some people made up the stories or something, but there used to, some say that it's called the Red Bazaar because when in the morning when the butchers do their work, the blood from the meat tends to flow into the drains, and they turn the drain red. But who knows?
Oh, I thought it was just painted red.
Oh no.
With the blood of the slaughtered animals, yes.
It will
Yes.
be. It will make uh branding big branding sense.
Well, if that's the first place you wish to go to, let's hit that then.
To the Red Bazaar then.
Out
Yes.
of character,
Mm-hmm.
you know that I don't have a logical reasoning to this, but I feel like if the DM explicitly give us some extra armor, I will keep it.
Or you could just treat this as a trap from the DM trying to make you guys as encumbered as possible.
Hmm.
Either way is fine to me.
Get rid of that shit.
And
I
30
mean, I
sessions
like
down
lighter
the road,
things.
30
If I
sessions
want,
down the road, you realize that, oh, so that's the reason why Snooky gave us the armor.
if I want lighter armor, it needs to be heavy armor that is lighter.
The only lighter armor I have is naked.
Naked, I have a 7 AC, so.
Hmm.
Or 8 AC, yeah. I guess I could just take
Oh,
one barbarian just for the AC. Hmm.
so Verda will bring you to this particular area, the market ward. Actually, yeah, it's here. Across the bridge into a plateau before leading you all over to the market ward.
If I had a camera, I would be the kind of tourist taking pictures of everything.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you mean, because you did go past like a on your way there, you did go past like an arena, a church, no, not a church, sorry, a temple, and as well as what's the word here? A boulevard, the kind of like indoor shopping street that's sheltered.
Ooh.
Is that's called a boulevard, right?
Yeah.
That's basically this thing down here. So you will walk past all that before heading to the bazaar.
Considering Chult's reputation, would that boulevard rightfully be the Boulevard of Broken Dreams?
I'll argue that within Port Nyanzaru, dreams is a place where dreams can be fulfilled for the right amount of coin.
So the
What?
opposite.
Or you just die. So that's maybe the broken dreams part.
Want to explore all the things.
But regardless, you all do make it to the market.
I find someone who's willing to buy three three suits of studded leather armor never used, and one suit of leather armor slightly used.
So you do find a small shop, a small smithy, almost a smithy, shall we say. He looks at the armor. Okay, I can give you 10 good pieces for the studded leather armor and 2 for the leather armor.
Good enough. 32 gold it is.
Alright. Pleasure doing business with you.
10 for each or for the 3?
Each.
Oh. Sorry.
Yes, lady?
Would you happen to have a splint armor?
And he laughs. No,
Oh,
you
okay.
must be new here. Did you just freshly get off a boat?
Yes and no.
Technically, no.
Well, technically, we didn't come by boat, but we are new.
Alright.
Don't Don't tell. Like, just whisper. Don't tell them that.
There's a bunch of people ready to rob tourists just behind the alley.
Yeah, never announce that you're a tourist.
But
Never
okay,
announce.
so anyway,
Like, I feel like having grown up having been the kind of person who literally came from a farm, right? This is a lesson that Sage learned the hard way.
mm-hmm.
And
And okay, and the shop owner kind of just looks at the party in the gear you're wearing. No one buys or sells metal armor within Port Nyanzaru. The weather is not suited for the weather.
oh, it's tropical, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, and as
Oh,
you kind of realize as you're walking here, everyone who's in heavy armor, you begin to feel the padding inside inside your heavy armor because you have to have padding. It's begin to feel like a sponge as it's just soaking up all the sweat that you're giving
yeah.
that's coming out from your bodies right now.
You are now intimately familiar with the sensation of sweat on your taint.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of someone who's grown up in a tropical hellhole,
Yes.
Do Dragonborn sweat?
I sure hope so.
how do lizards thermoregulate?
They don't.
I
Oh.
imagine that a dragon would probably use their wings for the purpose.
I imagine a dragon's wings, if they just spread it out, it just becomes a bit like a heat sink. It just it uses a large surface area to dissipate heat.
Yes.
I
Much like
imagine
elephant ears.
or
And
tropical
lizards.
dragon or tropical dragons need to nap for 12 hours a day.
You know those dragon lizards with large frills?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Desert lizards? It's the same idea. You just want a large surface area to help dissipate heat.
Mm. Do half elves sweat?
So, yeah, I assume yes.
I'd assume yes.
Yeah, I assume yes.
So, if you don't do metal, what do you? How? Like, this does not compute.
Most of the people here within the pod, if they wear armor at all, they will just wear leather armor.
Scratch his head.
Astrana's looking around for a set of smith's tools.
So, Sage takes Silver. What's your character's name again? Astrana.
Lestrana.
Lestrana.
Lestrana. It starts with an L.
Lestrana. Lestrana. Aside, it's like, hey, do you know how to do alchemical stuff?
I mean, I'm proficient with alchemist supplies. I don't
Okay,
have any on
excellent.
me, but I know how to use them.
Okay, excellent. I share with Lestrana the schematics I got from my friend Frank the Half Goblin. So I know how to make basically a smoke bomb and a flash grenade, and I don't know how to do alchemical tools, so I'm hoping that this is something that can help increase our survivability.
Lestrana, how do you feel about this proposal being given to you by Seyuk? Am I pronouncing your name right,
CH.
Guru?
Uh,
Sage.
yeah, CH, not K, not hard K.
Sage.
CH, and then the I is pronounced like an E.
Okay, so Lestrana, how do you feel about this proposal? Are you looking through the schematics?
I'm looking at the schematics.
Could you just give me an intelligence check with proficiency? You are proficient in alchemical supplies, right?
Yes.
Okay, give me an intelligence check with with your proficiency bonus.
Sorry about Frank the Half Goblin. He's out of his mind on meth half the time, but when he comes down from those highs, he is a genius.
Sindra once commissioned Frank to make her a firework for her 60th birthday.
Mm-hmm. It exploded magnificently because he was
He's
high
very
up.
happy about it.
Yeah, he was off his tits on meth when he made that.
So 15 total?
Yes.
Alright. So kind of looking through the schematics for the 2 items. The first item, which is a smoke maker, a smoke stick to be precise, is something that can be made fairly simply, assuming you have the materials. In this case, you need something that's almost heavy petroleum base, almost like tar, but you have to have the time to kind of work on the tar before it can give off the smoke the way it's supposed to. On the other hand, I think, what do you call it, Groot? Lightning stone?
It's called a flash stone.
Flash stone, yes. Whereas the flash stone, let's see, you roll 15. Okay, the flash stone is the main component to make the flash stone is not something that can be easily acquired, because the stone in its raw form is, what's the term that we will use here? Highly reactive. It's the kind of stuff that if you talk to other people within the house of Kenneth, they would tell you that you probably need like safety goggles, armor, and and layers of gloves. No, flash. FLASH.
Flesh stone. Oh no. Oh. Actually, consider this, right? Frank the Half Goblin is explicitly from this universe's version of Florida. I would not be surprised if he gave me a flesh stone.
Nice.
So like making the flash stone is like working with, say, Foof.
I would say because it's more of a natural occurring element. We're talking like cesium.
Mm.
Yeah.
So does Lestrana communicate this to me, or is this just something
I start
they keep
listing off things that would be needed.
and this just goes over my head, I assume? I'm assuming it just goes like over my head. Like I stop understanding about 6 words in.
I mean, you have been around Frank's workshop. You have a general idea of the type of components he might work with, but probably not into too much detail.
I'm assuming that 50% of his components are meth of some sort.
Or highly dangerous reagents of some sort.
Mm. Did you know that Frank has no eyebrows?
Who's Frank?
Oh, Frank is my half goblin inventor friend who is in a constant state, who is constantly shifting between out of his mind on meth and genius inventor.
What is meth?
Okay, so there's this thing that humans do where sometimes you want to work for 48 hours without sleeping. So what you do is you take this medicine that makes you very happy and gives you enough energy to work for 48 hours without sleeping.
It's coffee.
No, it's not coffee. This stuff this stuff is to coffee what a Tarask is to a goblin.
Assume I continue asking things like, what's a Tarask? And so on and so forth.
Okay.
So within
Okay.
the So within the bazaar,
While we're having this very animated conversation about meth.
I just write a list of materials that would be needed for each schematic on the schematic and hand them back.
right? And
Mm,
to answer your question, he will be able to sell you a set of Smith's tools.
Cool.
Yep. For the normal selling price, 20 gold.
so I assume that anything that's just in the PHB, I can just buy at market value.
Yeah, it's just that selling it is gonna when they sell if you want to sell stuff to them, they will undercut you by quite a bit.
Oh, that's perfectly understandable. That's
Yes.
just how selling works in D&D.
Siege,
Yo,
can I have the studded leather that the lady Sindra gave us?
yeah, you should have told me that before we arrived because I sold them already.
Oh, sad face.
Uh,
But
can I just buy it back from the smith I sold it to, or is he going to undercut me?
Oh, he's just gonna tell you that welcome back is 45 gold.
Uh,
Okay, so
Gray
where's the gold you got?
quietly puts a hand on his great sword that's larger than his body.
is that a threat towards me or towards the merchant?
Gray is attempting to intimidate the merchant.
I don't think that's very smart. They're considering that we're in a in a market. Also, watch your pockets.
And Verdo kind of puts a hand on yours, Gray, that's kind of pushing down on your great sword. And she kind of just speaks to the merchant. My friend made an honest mistake. He did not check with his party, and I apologize on his behalf. But we kind of need that armor back.
I'm willing to return the gold.
And she kind of she is wearing a bit of a scarf which she kind of pulls down. And the merchant looks at her, looks at Seuch and sighs, takes out the leather armor that you sold him, and puts it on the table. I'll like my gold back.
I give him back the 10 gold.
Wait, you
wait,
sold all 4 of them for 10 gold?
I
no,
sold
no, no.
10 gold each.
It
Oh,
is, but studded leather, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
studded leather. Now to look for
Gray
some
looks
adventure.
privately proud of themselves and walks away.
So I need one. I don't know if the rest ask for return or this is for just the one.
I ask Sayuch for my 10 gold.
I
As I hold my greatsword that is bigger than the kobold and his greatsword put together. I'm trying to intimidate the rogue.
I I sigh and I just give Aster the 10 gold. Not worth a fight.
I just smile. Thank you.
Although Sage will remember this.
So kind of just perusing the rest of the stores within the Red Bazaar. Unless somebody wants to continue talking to a general merchant.
Nope, but I'm going to do some shopping.
As you glance around, there's a lot of fragrance and smells. There are various meats being cooked. There are herbs that are being dried on a shelf. And there is a lot of commotion basically around the entire market ward itself. Is there anything that y'all are looking for right now in particular?
I'm
Water
thinking about it.
catchers, tents, a canoe,
A canoe, really? Okay.
What if we get some sort of cart?
or
That
cart.
thief
Cart
that
works.
was just about to grab into one of the party members' pocket.
You mean Sage?
Either way.
Was there another thief?
Excuse me, I'm a burglar, not a thief. That's a very that is an unfair son. Oh wait, no, I am a thief. Okay, never mind.
It's just thievery with extra steps.
I redact my outrage.
Was there a second thief?
Not that I know about.
Okay.
But
I
Chloe's looking for
wanna.
one.
I'm gonna buy a pack of 20 crossbow bolts.
Okay. That's like a gold, I believe. Yes.
A goldie.
Cobalt will get,
Going back to Kiwi's question, a canoe is 50 gold.
Fuck that.
So one by one. So the rain catcher, right? The other one you're talking about?
Yeah.
A rain catcher costs 1 gold and they weigh 5 pounds.
I'll take 2 of those. You said
Okay.
1 gold?
Yes, 1 gold. Because they aren't really complex in terms of design. It's basically a large leather sheet that you kind of stretch over a wooden frame that can be assembled.
I will be right back. I'm needed for something very quickly. Please, go ahead without me. I won't be long.
Ooh, what if we get an elephant?
How much is an elephant?
200.
Who are you asking?
I will actually ask. So when you need to go outside the city, what type of animals you use for cargo?
I assume you're asking Frodo?
Yeah,
Hmm.
like
She
I
thinks
would. I'm thinking a horse, a donkey, a camel, something different.
she kind of lost a bit. No, those animals won't survive in drought. Too many diseases here in the jungle. But if you do want something, I guess we should go take a look at the dinosaur pens.
I want to see a dinosaur.
All right.
Let us go see the dinosaurs.
Sorry, Kiwi. What else did you want? You were asking the rain catcher and the canoe. Was there something else?
There was. What was it?
I can't recall.
Tent?
Well, Listrano wanted a tent. And I was going to recommend getting insect repellent for people who aren't immune to disease.
Cobalt wanted more arrows and some skin oil because it's warm here and scales are dry.
Should I get a tent? I just planning to use the bedroll on the floor.
You know how much it rains?
No, I don't.
There's lots of rain. The ground can get very wet.
Is it
And-
raining right now?
There was a storm, but it kind of subsided just before you all left. It was raining during your conversation with Volos.
She looks with that face of, please help.
Are there puddles on the ground now?
Turns out no, because the drainage system within the pot is actually fairly advanced. All rainwater is all funneled towards the reservoirs for collection. So the streets, well wet, there are no puddles on the ground. At least in this area you're in, because this is the middle class area. Okay, so arrows, the arrows will follow standard pricing. So that's your usual 1 gold for 20 arrows. Skin oil, okay, skin oil. You can probably get something that works for like a silver. Insect repellent. As you go to one of the stores that's selling, I'm gonna just call it general camping equipment. Insect repellents, there are 2 types, and you see that they're in a small little container, which is a grease, kind of like a grease, the form of a grease. And there's a block of incense. And looking at it, you kind of recognize the block because little cages in front of all the houses that you all walk past, that cage is meant for putting the incense inside. So just so that the entire area is being protected from insects. And
Ooh.
mechanically speaking, a block of incense, it burns for 8 hours and it will repel normal insects in a 20 feet radius. And they cost 1 silver each.
Probably good for setting up when we camp.
The container of the self, they cost a bit more. They cost a gold, but it contains 20 applications. Each application lasts for 24 hours against normal insects, and it's also waterproof, so it does not come off in the rain.
I returned, and the wife crew was trying to talk into my mic while I was out.
We did not hear her.
Yeah, I was muted, but dear, what were you trying to say? He was trying to say hello.
Oh.
Hi.
On the other side.
Hi, wife crew.
Hi, wife crew.
They all say hi.
And, mhm.
She said that she heard Snurky talking about insect repellent.
Yeah. It's kind of needed in our region, isn't it?
Yeah. Speaking of
And
which, how much is
in the
insect
same
repellent?
area, there is a collection of rolled up tents that are being sold for the usual price, which I believe is 20 gold.
I
Yeah,
don't
20
know.
gold. A 2-person tent, 20 gold. Oh, sorry, 2 gold.
So
Sorry, 2 gold. I am blind. 2 gold. It's 20 pounds, 2
It's
gold.
it's
Yes.
20 pounds and 2 gold.
Sorry, for some reason I swapped the numbers. I saw 20 gold, 2 pounds, and I was like, wow, this is super lightweight tent.
I'm assuming that this is a kind of tent designed for the jungle.
Yep.
yeah,
So it's
raised
your
floors.
usual 2-layer, especially because this in the climate of child is the fly sheet is a bit more rigid than is usually compared to the usual ones.
The floor is also off the ground.
No, it's on the ground.
I mean, like there's like a layer above the ground so that you're not, prone to stinging things.
No, there
Oh
isn't.
shit!
Yeah. But I'll say with Lestrana, as you go and look around, you do see another set of bundle items that says tent, but it shows 1 gold instead.
What's the difference between the two tents? What is the 1 gold tent?
It's the past tense.
What is different about the cheaper tent?
Okay, I am going to fly to.
Yes, we know. We know. We know. We can just skip this time.
The merchant he answers well, these are something. It was a fad back about 3 or 4 months ago. The idea of a sheltered hammock. Unfortunately, the sales have not been good, so it's on sale. No one really wanted to buy them. Receive a bunch of complaints as well.
What were the
Complaints about what?
complaints?
Well, you see, on Chout, majority of the people outside the walls, they tend to be either from the Order or from the Flaming Fist. Their superiors complain something about the hammocks being bad discipline. And it's very hard to find a place where you can, hang up 50 hammocks in the area without looking like a mess.
Oh, can you imagine having to get out of that mess if you need to pee at night?
Oh yeah. Oh, and that's ex- excellent insight, young man. That was one of the problems. There was a recruit who had trouble getting out of his tent and was supposedly injured by a giant lizard, but there's no proof, so who knows?
Do I have the feeling that he is telling the whole story?
He's a merchant. He's never telling the whole story.
Roll insight. He's being fairly. Okay, so in sales, when you're trying to sell something, it's sometimes good to have a good story behind it. But for him, at this point, regarding those those hammocks, he has written them off. He doesn't care at this point.
Gray
Uh,
looks remorseful for the person and passes him 5 gold pieces.
why?
Buying 5 hammocks. Poor merchant. Hammock feel like fun idea.
Oh,
I mean, it looks like a tent that we can have that's not on the ground.
no,
And
but
the ground can get wet a lot, and there's stuff.
okay.
How much does a hammock tent weigh?
15.
Oh, Gray is super overloaded.
Oh, I buy
I mean, if
one
you're
of the 2 gold tents.
Well, Gray bought 5, so that way everyone could have one.
I don't want a hammock. I want a tent.
Oh, okay. Gray has a bunch of hammock tents.
No,
No,
I think
I
if you
grab.
discuss this properly, you won't have to buy extra hammocks. Just you can just buy exactly what you need.
I'm gonna grab one of the ones you're buying.
Gray happily passes one to her.
So which tent is Lestrana buying?
Lestrana's sharing a tent with Esther.
I mean, the hammock tent does look interesting.
Actually, it's easier when you're smaller than to get in or out of when you're smaller than a human. But don't Dragonborn and Kobolds have like spiky bits that might puncture the tent?
I'm seeing here in my notes that D&D is not a simulation.
Well, Astor's bought a 2-person tent.
I don't know, cuz if you want to sleep in the trees, go ahead.
Well, no
Also,
need for
mechanically
carrying extra
speaking,
weight.
so I just want to say, mechanically speaking, whatever I said about the recruit being attacked by the dinosaur, that was just fluff. I won't make your roll to get out of a hammock, just to be clear.
I wanna buy one of those grease thingies.
Gray has also bought a vial of salve and 10 blocks of incense.
Sage just bought 3 vials of salve and also one GP worth of incense.
Does Sage want a hammock? Gray offers it to him.
No, Sage has a tent.
Astor buys no insect repellent.
You're making a mistake.
I'm a paladin, I'm immune to disease.
They could. Is it? But mosquito bites can still be obnoxious.
and unpleasant.
And 3 foot wide.
The
Oh,
player.
imagine having an insect bite under chainmail that you can't scratch.
Okay, player asking the GM, are there any mechanical implications from not having insect repellent other than disease?
It's extremely unpleasant.
Okay, that's not a mechanical thing.
I mean, it can be if
Uh,
it prevents you from getting a good night's rest.
it does not. The paladins, I will just let you know that the paladins' entire immune to disease thing is is one of those skip over jungle mechanics thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was one of the things that pushed me more towards a paladin over a
I
cleric.
mean, I consider there is one particular disease which technically is a magical effect, but looking it up, people just consider rules as written is under disease, so even though it's a magical effect, it's not gonna affect the paladin.
Okay. No insect repellent for Aster.
Lestrana is going to be buying some insect repellent.
How
Probably
much
don't
it?
need
Go ahead.
probably don't need to worry about the incense since we already seem to have gotten quite a bit of that. But I'm going to
Yeah.
buy myself a couple.
It still makes sense to buy them because the range on them isn't a lot. So it's like it's good practice to put one near where you're sleeping.
How much it weighs the incense and the salt?
Okay, so theoretically speaking, they actually don't weigh anything
You could say
because they're
0.
fairly lightweight. Yeah.
Yeah, it has what in D&D terms is considered negligible weight.
Yeah, I thought about giving it like 0.2, 0.1 or 0.2 pounds, but that's just too much bookkeeping for my liking.
So your desire to have us do variant encumbrance where we're weighed down by our gear is defeated by your hatred of extra bookkeeping.
Yes.
Which means we can carry an infinite amount of insect salve and just drown out the eventual Tomb of Annihilation.
You can
Exactly.
build you can build yourself a gelatinous cube of insect self.
Salve cubes.
Yeah. So y'all do buy a bunch of stuff, tents, rain catchers. No, actually only Esther bought the rain catcher and some insect self. And Verdo just begins to guide you along. So you all want to take a look at the pack animals of Port Yanzaru.
Yeah.
Alright. And Chief guides you through a stone gate that's in front of the market. And you all begin to head down a slightly less maintained path. The place is a bit muddier there. And yeah, this is the lower end
This
of
is pretty
Port
good.
Yanzaru.
This is gonna be all the parts I hated about doing Boy Scouts, isn't it?
Yeah, your boots are sticking to the ground because it just rained. So scratch, scratch, squish, squish, squish. And you'll walk about a fair distance, 500 feet before you're in front of numerous pans full of, and there are a bunch of beasts inside that you don't really recognize unless somebody thinks they've seen a dinosaur before.
Cue Jurassic
I've
Park.
seen pictures and books.
Do, 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 do.
Yeah.
The
So
children's books still exist in this universe because that's where I would have seen them.
I mean,
and Verdo just looks around.
Gray looks
And she kind of
unimpressed.
flags down a handler. Sorry, David.
Gray looks unimpressed.
Okay, I get it. And she flags down a handler who comes over. She just talks to the handler a bit. My friends here are guests of Prince Otamu. Please treat them well.
Hello.
And the handler just looks at y'all. Okay, you guys must be new here.
Yep.
Don't announce that we're new.
Doesn't mean you can try to price gouge us or anything.
No, anybody who's wearing metal armor here is new.
Not gonna take it off.
I don't. That's up to you. And he kind of gestures you over. So and he's like, I was just
What?
asking.
Sorry.
So
Sorry. What did he say?
if you're wearing metal armor here, it means you're new.
Ah.
Yeah, and you kind of realize on your way from Prince Otamu's place, even his guards aren't wearing metal armor. All the way down to the area, and no one here seems to be wearing metal armor. And he kind of looks over to the group, the handler. So what exactly are you looking for?
Please tell me we're looking for a dinosaur to ride on.
If you're looking for a riding dinosaur, we do have those, but
We are looking for a beast of burden.
or both, maybe.
Or both.
Or both.
Whatever can survive outside.
All right. Let me see. So why are the notes so long? Here's the worst part. I can't remember how to spell a dinosaur's name because I'm trying to find it. Okay, got it. So if you're looking for a riding dinosaur, we do have these Deinonychus.
Deinonychus.
Yes. So they are considered a medium-sized. Wait, are they medium? Yes, they are medium. They are considered a medium-sized riding animal. They can't carry much, but they can travel at a fairly decent speed. Though, and he glances at all of you. Though maybe only the kobold can ride one comfortably. They are pretty small. Sorry, the Deinonychus is only one of the smaller ends of dinosaurs we have.
How much is they cannot carry much?
They are not pack animals. They are more of they're meant for getting someone somewhere fast.
Oh.
In mechanical terms, they can only carry 75 pounds,
Wow,
considering
no.
various encumbrance. Yeah. But if you need
75.
something to carry
Uh,
things for you, we have three choices.
mm-hmm.
We have the Hydrosaurus. They are a large animal. Fairly passive, vegetarian. And they can carry quite a fair amount. They're also easy to control. They can carry, let's see, 150 pounds of weight.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
we
what I'm carrying.
and if we move on to the higher end, we have the Ankylosaurus. They are a huge animal. Still easy to work with. Okay,
Can you
I wrote
type that last name?
Ankylosaurus.
Ooh. That's the one with the big ball and the
Yeah,
face.
with the big shell. It's the big
Ah.
shell, turtle shell at the back with the large tail. I think they. Let's see, what was the max I did on that last time? I think it was like 350 pounds.
How much is the Ankylosaurus?
250 gold.
What did they eat?
If you want, you can prepare some feed for them. But the nice thing about bringing one of the native animals of Child is that they tend to forage as they walk.
How much is
Okay, sorry, 380 pounds for the first limit of encumbrance. 760 if you wish to just overload it all the way.
How much did the like medium-sized ones cost?
The Hydrosaurus is 100 gold. The Dinopithecus, which is not a pack animal, but still a dinosaur that can be bought, is 250.
I will buy one of the Hydralisks.
Now, the last one we have, how do I spell it? Damn it.
Triceratops.
Yes, Triceratops. I'm trying to find the numbers on Fire Tools. Okay. The Triceratops is probably the most expensive dinosaur you can buy here. Harder to work with, I'll be honest, they have a bit of a temper. But their limit of carrying stuff is roughly 440. 440 is the lower limit, and 880 is the upper limit. But they have a temper. They don't. You know, they can be passive if they want to. But the Triceratops does cost 500 gold.
Mm,
Hmm.
I want one of those Hydra things.
So I'm just gonna put down the numbers. Okay, so Hydrosaurus, Hadrosaurus, 100 gold. They can carry 150 slash 300. I assume you all just want the Beast of Burdens ones, right?
I do, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ankylosaurus, 250 gold. 380 slash 70.
Okay, so if we split the cost, we can go all in.
Triceratops. What did I say? 440. Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, and 500 gold.
If we split it 5 ways, we can afford to go all in on an Ankylosaurus.
How much was the Ankylosaurus?
250 gold.
250.
250.
Mm, 1 second. Doing math.
50 gold, 5 ways.
That's not the math I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say that because there is a bunch of purchases that need to be done. You don't have to do it now. You can kind of like do it after the session if you want to. Because which is why I kind of just want to put the prices here so that y'all can see and consider.
So to speak with the group, I like the idea of an Ankylosaurus for myself. Can you ride them? I know they're of burden, but like a donkey, you can still be sitting on top of it. Can you do that? Or is it like no?
The handler thinks about it. Usually we don't, because if anything goes wrong, we prefer to be on the ground to control them. Or jump off and run away if things get bad.
What could be bad enough to threaten an Ankylosaurus? Look at them; they have spikes everywhere.
And the handler laughs. Ah, you really must be new here. Tell you what, if you're interested in knowing what type of dinosaurs are in Child, might I recommend you check out the dinosaur races.
I think we
Sorry,
will
what?
do that.
Sorry, what?
I'm sorry, what dinosaur? What?
Races, RACES, races.
No, this is like in-character excitement. Like, I want to
Okay,
see the
sorry,
dinosaur
sorry.
races.
I thought Gru misheard me.
No,
Racist.
this is
Okay, so
dinosaur racist. Oh no.
yes, and the handler just looks. Yes, the dinosaur races. There's a few races every day. And you can gamble on them. If you ask the correct person, you might even be able to race in them.
Excuse me, I'm having all those childhood dreams of riding a dinosaur at the same time.
Oh, you didn't know what a dinosaur was.
I think
I
that's maybe
didn't.
Gru.
That's Gru, I think.
Gru is having those dreams. Sayo just didn't realize he wanted it until just now.
So I was saying, I will go for a personal Ankylosaurus unless the group wants to have like 1 or 2 Triceratops for the whole group.
I think Gray wanders over and tries to introduce themselves to one of the Hydrosauruses.
Roll me animal handling. The Hydrosaurus glances at you and kind of just spits water on the ground.
Gray kind of deflates and huffs. I have better cousins than you. Turns and walks away.
Okay, awesome. So let's not get bogged down deciding on how many dinosaurs we want to get. We can do that later anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's
And-
maybe see about finding a guide and they can tell us what we actually should be worrying about.
Yes.
Verdo does let you all know that if you wish to purchase any of the animals here, they will be delivered to one of the stables near the main gate. There's one that's always under the employ of the merchant princess within the port.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So they'll just if you buy them, they'll just deliver them straight to the stable.
Yes.
As well as any goods that you might purchase, we will have someone there to help you load up the animals.
All right. So now let's see about getting a guide.
And as you bring up the topic on the guides, Verdo just mention, would you prefer to go straight to the Guides Guild, or would you try to check out another place just in case there's a freelancer there?
I
I
will
want to check.
go. Go ahead.
I'd say let's check the guild first so that we can get an idea of what the guides are like, and then we look at the freelancers.
Okay. So she leads you back into the market world by heading north a bit, further up towards the what did they call it? The boulevard. There's a name for it. But it's nearer the golden mansions up here in this big top area.
Mm.
They call it the Grand Souk. And as you enter this one of the larger buildings, you are It's a fairly clean place. There's a reception table there in the center. A male purple tiefling there. And he appears to be handling some paperwork between a human, a halfling, and three other people who are interestingly also wearing metal armor. There's some nods, handshakes before the 5 of them kind of just walk past you on the way out.
5 of them?
Yes. Specifically two who appear to be guides, and the 3 people who hired them.
Okay.
So, but you come in and the tiefling just glances and looks at you, looks at Verdal, and just speaks up. Welcome to the Guides Guild. If you're looking for a guide, please refer to the wall. The guides who are currently available can be found there.
Aster says hello to the wall.
Bow and thank you for.
I apologize for flooding you right now.
Yep.
I've seen all of these before.
Oh, that's a lot of handouts.
Yep, so there's 5 of them. 5 that are attached to the wall, each of them describing a guide. And Frodo does kind of whisper to y'all that I'm gonna just step out to one of the other areas. I'll try to grab you a guide, or sorry, I'll try to grab you one of the hand pamphlets for one of the freelancers if they're there.
Okay.
Yep. And just to cut things short a bit because of timing issues, I'll just give it to you now.
Ooh.
Yep. So these are the guides who are currently available, including the freelancers, to be precise, because there's 2 of them.
River Mist and Flask of Wine.
Yep.
Is this a naming convention among what are they?
Tabaxi.
Yeah,
Tabaxi?
that's how Tabaxis name themselves.
Yeah, that's how Tabaxi name themselves.
Oh,
Why do you think Sky's name is something something Sky something?
eh. Actually, this is the first player character Silver's had who was not a Tabaxi, and I'm surprised.
How do you know she isn't a tabaxi?
She's a human.
No, I'm a half elf. And I do have a human.
No, sorry. The first player character in the group that I've been in who was not also a Tabaxi.
And the receptionist does let you all know that if there's someone who you'd like to employ, do let me know. I'll see if I can contact them and arrange a meeting as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Silver's brain is getting overloaded.
I know.
I was going to say, perhaps we take the handouts and call it a night at this point so that we
That
can
was the plan.
kind of look at the handouts and discuss
Yep.
which guide we most trust versus distrust, because some of these are going to stab us in the back 5 feet out the door.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I will let you all know that there are actually about how many 11 different guides, really speaking. I took out the ones that were either A, boring, or B, will straight out kill you for no reason.
Sorry, what?
I'm not joking.
Hey, the guy with the walking plant won't kill
That
you.
was okay. You want me to spoil you on that, Kiwi?
Yes.
Sure.
He's the one who will kill you.
Oh.
Yeah.
He seemed nice.
No, you want to hear a story?
Yeah.
He's from the Emerald Enclave, and much like your character now, is all about killing zombies. The
Okay.
problem here is that he'll intentionally mislead the entire party into all the high zombie occupation areas and will never lead you towards the location you want him to.
But then
Oh,
I gotta
he.
kill
That's
zombies.
What a
that's
dick!
his entire sitch. Yeah.
My
What?
character would love that guy.
What a dick!
Yeah, but we
Yeah.
have other job to do.
He's one of the guys who intentionally, because there's okay, so there are what I call the trap guides, and he's one of those. He will, but he's also kind of a trap and also boring. As interesting as his entire character design is.
Well, and it is actually an interesting thing to deal with as your guide, just because they would cause the party to, if you were doing an XP based game, gain a lot of experience if they survived.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, are we not doing experience?
No, we're doing this
we're
by milestone.
Okay.
We're doing this by Snurky will tell us when we level.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh god, that's like the reverse Flash all over again.
No, it means we can do the pacifist run.
Anyways, I'm going to shut things down and get
Mhm.
ready for work. Thank you for
Yes.
the fun. This was an interesting opening, and I would vote for Seldia or Azarka, and I'm probably mispronouncing all the names, so yay.
Azaka
We
and
didn't
Salida.
die. We didn't die.
I
I-
don't plan for anyone to die in the first session.